Hello everyone, welcome back to another surface modeling tutorial. In this one, I will show you how to unwrap and how to model this object, this charger in Cinema 4D. And I am really happy with the result. I mean, I was able to get a really uniform mesh over here. And I will show you a few tricks about how you can approach this kind of shapes, where to start from, how to transform this kind of circular shapes into angular ones, etc. So I hope you are going to enjoy the tutorial. Now let's get into it. Before diving into modeling, we need to decide on where to start. Should we start from the top or should we start from the bottom? And the answer is we should start from the top because transforming these kind of circular shapes into angular ones is always easier and faster. This is basically why. Also, if I start to model this from the bottom part, I will have certain amount of polygons, edges or points. And in order to model the top section, I will have to use these certain amount of polygons. So this is not going to allow me an easier way to model these objects. So to eliminate that dependency, I will start to model this from the top. So let's add in the first object, which is going to be a disk. I will hit N and B to see the wireframes. And first thing first, I will set this to 6. Disks with 6 segments are great to model this kind of semicircular shapes, but we need to make some adjustments. So I will first make it editable, go into points mode and grab polygon pen tool. Then I will add that straight edge, then merge these points. Once I have done that, I will hold down Ctrl and get rid of these diagonal edges. Okay, now let's select these edges, hold down Ctrl and extrude these, let's say 3 times. All right, now let's select these boundary edges by holding Shift. Then I will hold down Ctrl and bring these down. Let's see. Yeah, we need something like that. By the way, let me turn off that work plane. Now I will hold down Shift and add that loop cuts in and increase up the cuts to, let's say, 4 because I want a uniform mesh. Why? Because we are going to work in subdivision surface workflow. Uniformity is quite important. By the way, I will not bevel these right now because I will add weights to these edges and I will automatically get that rounding. You are going to see what I'm talking about in a few minutes. So first, let's get that detail. So I will use close polygon hole tool to close that hole. And I will use the grid one. As long as we have certain amount of edges on each side, that tool works great with the grid option enabled. I will first make an inset. Then select a point and move it on the X. Then I will select these edges and hold down Shift and scale them on the X. Now these edges are going to be perfectly straight. Then I will scale them slightly. Then I will select these edges by holding Shift and I will use equal spacing tool. Alright, now I have evenly distributed polygons, which is going to help us a lot. Now I will select these points. I will scale these on the Z. Then I will select all these polygons, hold down Ctrl and bring these down. Now we have a problem. We should not have much space over here. We should have same amount of space on each side. So I will grab these polygons and move them on the X. I will select these edges in the middle. To model the final details, I will select these polygons. Unfortunately, I will not be able to use symmetry because this object is not symmetrical. So I will first model the right side, then I will mirror this on the left. So I will make an inset first, then I will use fit circle tool. I will hold down Ctrl, bring that down. And so yeah, this is looking nice. I will make another extrusion, then I will select this polygon with slope selection tool and I will extrude these out. Now I will select these polygons, then scale them in, bring them down. Let's go to the front view. The ending should be as circular as possible. So I will first select the point in the middle, bring that down. Then I will select these points and adjust these points to make this shape as round as possible. You should also check the right view. All right, this part is looking already good. Then I will drop that loop in. This loop is essential to hold up that transition or that curve. We should have a constant distance between these points. By doing so, basically by having a uniform mesh, it's gonna look really smooth or curved or round. To test that out, obviously, let's drop this one into SRD. And as you can tell, it is looking great. Now, how we can mirror this on the left side? First, we need to delete these polygons. Then I will select all these polygons and make a fill selection. To mirror this properly, the origin of that mesh or object should be aligned, because if I go into model mode, hit E, as you can see, it is still in the middle of the world, because if you remember, we started off with a disk. So in order to alter that origin, I will enable access mode and click on that middle point. Now I will turn this off, select these polygons and split them out. Now I will select this new object, go to coordinates. Let's see where we should mirror this on. Yeah, on the X. So I will come over here, type in -1. It is that easy. Since we have moved that part manually, as you can tell, this is not perfectly symmetrical. So I will select these points only and move them on the X until these points match, but they don't have to match perfectly, because I will use optimize tool to connect these points automatically. Speaking of that, let's select all of these, click on connect objects and delete, select all the points, Ctrl A, and open up optimize options. I will increase up the threshold because this is too low, set this to 1, and that should connect these points. That, as you can see, messed up the normals, so I will right click and click on align normals. I will put this one under a sub D again, and this time I will only check the wireframes, and everything is looking perfect. Now we need to add some weights to make the edges sharper, obviously. So let's start off with these ones. I will hold down Shift, and sometimes I will hold down Ctrl and Shift to select the edges in between. I'm not going to select these ones because I want these edges as round as this image. Let's enable sub-D, grab weight subdivision surface tool, and weight them up. And perfect. Looking really great. Nice uniform surface. Obviously, this is not going to be enough. We need to weight these as well. So double click. Sometimes double clicking will not work because of this pulse. So we need to double click. Hit Q again and weight these up. Let's select these ones as well. Weight them. Then these guys, this time I will use loop selection tool. Okay, hit Q and weight them up. This is basically it. We got the basic shape. Obviously, we have this hole over here waiting to be modeled. Also, we should have a loop right in the middle because we want a uniform mesh. Same here. I mean, you don't have to, but I like to keep my objects as uniform as possible. By the way, this is not going to be my final resolution. I will drop that down to 1. Now I will try to model the other piece. To model it, I will just use these polygons, these existing ones. So let's make some phone break selections. Then I will split them out. By the way, we don't want these ones. So I will hit UNP again, and this new one will carry the other weight. So I will just delete that tag. Then let me see. First, let's select these edges by holding Shift and move them on the X. These ones as well. Now let's go to the front view. I will grab line cut tool, but I will turn off visible only option so that I will be able to cut through. And let's see, yeah, we should cut through like that. Then I will select the stop points and delete them. And let's delete these leftovers. I will dissolve these edges, right click, dissolve, and this is gonna be it. By the way, we should also get rid of these ones as well, but this is gonna remove that point. So I will hold down Control, deselect these, and dissolve the other ones. Then I will use Polygon Pen tool to connect or merge these points. Now I will drop in a loop cut right in the middle, and we are good to go. I will select all the polygons, extrude tool, enable caps option, and extrude these out. Okay, as you can see, we have a bevel. So in order to get that, I will double click on these edges, and I will basically slide these in. Okay, again, I will use weights to make these edges sharper, but first let's group these. Enable sub D, select this back. Actually, let's hide the first one for a few seconds. These ones are already selected. By the way, we should not select these ones because I want this part as round as possible. But this part is supposed to be quite sharp, so I will include these edges. Now let's hit Q and weight these edges up. Actually, I will select that edge along with this one and move them down because the distance between the points should be as even as possible. This is gonna give us a better curve. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's gonna be enough for us. Let's unhide this one, and here we go. Now we can make this editable. Before doing that though, I will Alt and Control and duplicate this so I can hide this one as a backup. I can use this anytime if something goes wrong. Now I will select my sub D and set this to 1, the level of the subdivision, and hit C. After that point, we no longer need these weights, just delete them. Now we can start to clean up the mesh. For example, these edges are looking weird, so I will just dissolve them. Same here. Let's solo it. Okay, looks perfect. This one is already nice. Actually, while looking at that section, the side part, I noticed that these polygons are not as even as I want. It is not something that significant, but I want to keep this part as uniform as possible. So I will delete this one and duplicate this backup. And I will drop in a loop cut. Then select all these edges and use equal spacing tool. Okay, now these polygons look more square. And if I enable sub D, yes, this is exactly much better than the previous one. Now I can make this editable. Again, we no longer need these weights, just delete them. So I will select these polygons and I will make an inset. Hold down Control, extrude these 2 times. Then we can delete these. Now let's drop this one under a new sub D. Obviously, we need to make some edges sharper. Let me hide this and let's focus on this one only. Actually, let's get rid of these weird looking edges. I will just dissolve them. Then I will double click on these edges. I will hold down Control and Shift to select the edges in between. Once I have done that selection, I will use Slide tool, hold down Control, slide these in. Hit Q. Alright, nice, but we are gonna need another one which will... Oh, sorry, I made a mistake over here. Let me hit Control Z, deselect these, and select these ones. Actually, you know what? We could use the bevel tool with the solid option. Yeah, exactly. Now, by that way, we are gonna have spotting edges on each side. All I need to do is dissolve these diagonal ones. Hit Q. Perfect. Let's add in the other ones, the spotting edges. This one. We are gonna need this one as well. Alt Control, clone these out. This one is looking weird. So if I move these on the X, which will make these edges straight, I should be able to get a better clone. Yeah, hit Q, nice. Then this one, I will hold on Shift, extrude these, clone these up. This time I will use loop selection tool, hold down Control, clone these in. Obviously, we are gonna need these ones as well. Now let's work on that section. So obviously we need to make these edges sharper. So I will select all these ones, grab all these corner edges, then bevel them. Again, I will use the solid modes. I will hit Q, and now the edges are quite sharp. Obviously, we need to clean up the mesh. So I will grab polygon pen tool, and let's simplify the mesh by merging these points. Now I will connect this one to this one, that one to that one, then get rid of this edge. Then I will connect that one to that one. By doing so, I will have all quads. Same here. Okay, hit Q and perfect. If I hit N and B, yeah, everything is smooth. No problem at all. What about that one? Let's this time hide this one and only focus on that one. First thing we could do is slide these existing ones like over here. Then I will make a selection to select these edges. This time I will hold down Control, slide these in. While having these edges, I could make a selection to delete these polygons because we are not going to see that part. And let's select these ones. And you know what to do. Actually, let's use this bevel tool again with the solid mod. Hit Q. Nice. Except for that part. It is supposed to be as sharp as possible, just like what we have in this image. So I will enable symmetry. We want to mirror this on the Z. So let's turn this off and enable Z. Unfortunately, polygon pen tool is not working well with the symmetry hub. So instead, I will use line cut tool. I should enable this back because I don't want to cut through. Also, I will enable single line. Okay, these edges will be mirrored on that side. Yeah, exactly. Now all I need to do is select these edges, these diagonal ones, and dissolve them. That should make these edges as sharp as possible. Now I will grab an old USB that I modeled in one of my older tutorials. So I'm talking about this one first. Let's reset the rotation. Then grab that part, Control C, go back to this one, Control V. As you can see, this is way too small. So let's select our null and scale that down until we get a match with that USB. So that USB, yeah, here. Scale that down. Yeah, something like that. Let's zoom in, hit S. You need to adjust the shape though, just a little bit. So let's select that polygon loop, then grow up the selection UNI, UNY. Then I will hit T. Yeah, something like that is going to be enough. I will also drop this one into under my subd group. Going to model mode, move these in. Obviously, we need to make these edges sharper, these corners. So I will go to the Let's see. Yes, to the right view. Select these points. Scale them on the X and Y. Sorry, on the X, on the Y, and on the Z. First Z, then Y. Then we could make point break selection tool to select these flat surfaces. Then flatten out these polygons by holding Shift. Same here. I mean, you don't have to do that because these parts are so small that you're not going to even notice. Since this is a tutorial, I'm trying to show the most proper ways. Okay, looking better, but we are not there yet. So I'm thinking about grabbing these edges. So let's select these ones, these nervy ones, nervy loops, scale them on the Z. Same here. This is gonna make these corners sharper. Okay, looking nice. Let's turn this off. By the way, if you want to know more about that part, you can watch that tutorial. This is on my channel. The modeling part is done. Let me orbit around the mesh for the last time. Check the wireframes. Now I will show you how you can unwrap these objects. So let's go ahead and switch to the UV layout. So this one is already UV'd, so we don't need to unwrap this. So I will just hide it. Then I will select the other one. I will select all the polygons, then click on Reset UV. Also, let's solo this object. Well, it's not gonna work because the sub-D is on. Let's turn this off. Then I will go into polygon mode, hit V and select Funk Break Selection Tool. This is gonna try to select these flat surfaces. By holding Shift, I will be able to select that polygon islands. Then I will come over here and click on UV Unwrap. It's gonna be that easy. Once I have done that, I will come over here again and click on Hide Selected. Then based on these sharp edges, I will continue to select these polygons. This one has sharp edges, so I will select these ones as seams. So hold on Shift, select these edges. I will go into polygon mode because these are supposed to be selected. Then I will go back to the edge mode. Edge mode. Open up the options and enable restrict to polygon selection so that only selected polygons will be unwrapped. Click on OK. And that's going to be it. By the way, I will align this later. So again, select hide selected. This time, let's double click on that edge loop. Then I will make a fill selection, UNF, to select that whole polygon island. We don't have any sharp edges, so we are good to go. Click on UV unwrap, and that's going to be it. I'd selected, then I could use font break selection on these flat polygons. Whenever you see these kind of flat surfaces, just go ahead and use font break selection. It just works great. Then hit UV unwrap. We select, I selected, then again I can use that tool again. It is just perfect for this kind of polygons. UV unwrap. This time though, let's align these islands. Just select a straight edge, then click on align UV islands. Let's go back to polygon mode, select, hide selected. Now we have this island. So I believe it would be nice to have two seams on each side, like this one and that one. Okay, let's go into polygon mode. These polygons should be selected only, UNF. Go back to edge mode and click on UV unwrap. So something went wrong. So let me go back to the edge mode. Okay, it looks like I lost these edges. So let's select these, click on UV unwrap, and here we go. As I said, I will align these when I'm done with the unwrapping. So let's just try to focus on unwrapping these. I select it. Now we are gonna unwrap these cylindrical shapes. So first, let's make a polygon selection or island selection. Then I will select a seam. And usually you want to select this from the least visible parts of the object. So let's click on UV unwrap, and it is that easy. After that point, we don't need to hide these UV polygons. Then a seam over here, UV unwrap, nice. Then again, flat polygons, font break selection, UV unwrap, move these away, font break selection, UV unwrap. Then while these polygons are selected, I can use these as boundaries. So I could basically make a selection. This time though, it's going to be a little bit different because the ending of that object is curved. So I need to select these as seams. Then let's use these as seams. Hit Ctrl and Shift. This is going to select the edges in between. And all I need to do is click on UV Unwrap. Sometimes though, these kind of curved surfaces are kind of broken. So it is good to apply relaxation on this kind of polygons. It's going to change it just a little bit. And maybe we can align that island. Okay, let's do the same over here. First, select these edges as boundary, fill selection, then seams. Then click on UV Unwrap. I will relax these. And here we go. I believe we unwrap them all. Yeah, let's hit V, select, and click on Show All. Nice. Now it's time to pack these. Select them all. Ctrl A. Come over to the UV packing. Geometric one works just great. I will uncheck preserve orientation because we haven't aligned them yet. But I will enable equalize island size. So if you enable this option, it's going to try to scale these UVs based on the size of the 3D model. Click on apply, and that's it. Now I will open up UV maps so that I can align these UVs. For example, as you can see, that island is not aligned properly. So select a polygon, then come over to the 2D view, then hit S so that you can see in which polygon island this polygon is. So double click on that island, it's going to select it. Then I will come over to the transform, type in 90 and click on apply. You may need to do that a few times. All right, that looks fine. That island is also looking perfect. You can read these numbers. Also, I don't see any kind of distortion. This one is also looking fine. I don't think we need to invest time in checking out these ones as these parts are not going to be that visible. This one is okay. This one is okay. What about that one? Let's hit S, double click. I will try to rotate this a few times and move it around. Yeah, I can read that one, so we are okay. Then we have this one. Again, rotate it a few times until you can read these numbers. Yeah, nice. That one is looking okay. What about this one? Okay, this one is also perfect. Now I will select them all. Go back to the UV packing. This time I will enable preserve orientation because you know why? We just aligned them. So now I will click on apply. And here we go. Perfect. Let's turn this off. Okay, everything is looking perfect. Now the other one, let's hide this one, turn off solo mode, select them all. So you know what to do. Just select these sharp edges, or you can use the same methods. Font break selection tool, UNN. Of course, you need to be in polygon mode. So Alt and Shift, select these polygons, and click on UV Unwrap. And move that away, or you can hide it. Then actually, you know what? Let's hide it. It makes it easier. Okay, now again, we have this sharp edge loop. So just double click on it. Same here. Alt and Shift, double click. Then I should be able to make a fill selection to grab these bottom polygons. Then click on UV Unwrap. I can align this in edge mode. Select that one, click on Align UV Islands. Move it away. And let's hide these ones. Now I will go into edge mode, double click on these ones again, and let's make another loop. Sorry, fill selection, but it didn't work. I don't know why it was supposed to select these ones, but I don't know. Okay, field selection again. Let's try what's going to happen if I click on UV unwrap. So that doesn't look that good, right? So I believe it would be nice to split these into two separate islands. Just select this polygon, hit E, and move it away, like so. I will hide these, hide selected. Then we have these polygons. So double click. Obviously, we are going to seams. These are looking fine. Let's click on UV unwrap, and here we go. Now I will unhide them, select them all, and click on UV packing. But let's turn this off again because we haven't aligned them yet. UV map, we need to align this. Transform, rotate it. Nice. These ones are not that important because these are not going to be that visible. Now I will just select the islands, invert the selection, move these away, and I will just pack this one only. This time I will enable preserve orientation because these islands needs the most space. Then we could find space for these ones. Just double click, invert the selection, and we could use the UV packing tool. I will turn this off. And it doesn't look that well, so I will try to move these in manually. All right, nice. This could be somewhere around here. Then these guys, I will just scale them in. UV unwrapping is done. Everything is looking clear. Let's go back to the standard mode. I think we can wrap up the tutorial as I will not get into, rendering because you can watch this one. I will not do anything different than this one. So if you want to know more about rendering, you can watch this tutorial on the channel. Just look for charger or adapter. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, just let me know. If you liked this tutorial, you can find more on the channel. Also, by liking and subscribing, you can help the channel. Anyway, thank you very much again. I will see you in the next ones. Bye.